So my office is kind of a disaster right now. It's gotten a little out of control. I had this all organized and sorted like a week ago. I swear, like last week, everything was immaculate in here. And then I got a new 6 scale figure this week, which is this Thor over here, because you can't have the Thor Ragnarok Hulk and not have the Thor. Want to point out I ordered that Thor before I lost my job because I am not that irresponsible with my 6 scale figure collecting. And then it came and I'd forgotten that I had ordered it, and then I felt really bad inside, like I was really irresponsible. But I ordered it before I found out about the job thing. So the Thor packaging took over the couch. Then I got a box from one of my publishers, which was full of books, which I've taken out. So that happened, and then I had to dig some personal documents out of my Foot Locker, and to do that I had to move all these boxes, and now I don't feel like putting them back, and then it just kind of spiraled out of control, and this is where we are now. So I'm not proud of it. I'm also not proud of the state of my coiffure either. I desperately need to get a haircut. But sometimes shit gets out of control, and that's really why I wanted to show you this. I wanted you to know it's okay for things to temporarily spiral out of control. I'm going to clean all this up and fix it and sort it, but sometimes that's going to happen, and it's okay. Don't get down on yourself about it. Just kind of utilize the time and the squalor that you need, and then organize everything and get everything back in shape. The important thing is you don't leave it like this, but it's okay for it to temporarily spiral out of control. Now, if you know me, then you know I am not big on the concept of community. I've always been very resistant. Never been a joiner, really. I've never functioned well within a group dynamic. And the bigger and more elaborate the group becomes, the more resistant I am to being a part of that. It's really the human factor. I feel like you get a few well-meaning people together, that's cool, get 5 or 10 together. It's more complicated, but it's still an acceptable level. Past that, the more people you add who congregate around a core concept, whatever that concept is, whether it's like a professional community based on, science fiction, fantasy, or young adult fiction, or whatever it is, the more people you add, the higher the toxicity level begins to rise, until like you've got a group of people who have like matching hats and t-shirts, and they've got a fight song, and they've got a list of people that they're going to visit at 3 a.m. It's just not, it never ends up being a good thing, I think, ultimately. It's just when when that happens. This is not, of course, to say community as a concept is not a good thing. It is. It's it's a vital thing. It's a life-saving, necessary thing. That's a very human thing. Like, we form communities. It's the basis of our entire civilization. It's what takes a group of oppressed or marginalized people and allows them to rise above that oppression, is forming communities and organizing and all of that. Community can be used as a great force of good. And I'm not in any way saying that that's not true. I personally, the communities that I've been exposed to throughout the course of my life and career, I've just always been a little hesitant. That's all. I'm just not a joiner by nature, and I see how these things develop. And it ends up being a bunch of white people calling themselves a tribe, which maybe stop doing that because we've taken enough from indigenous people. But that's just me. You gotta do you. Now, that being said about my inherent resistance to community, I have to today really be grateful for and thank the community of people that have developed around this channel and this vlog, that have developed on my Twitter and around my writing, that have developed around the Ditch Diggers podcast that I do with Mur Lafferty, the Hugo-winning Ditch Diggers podcast, by the way. New episodes of which have just dropped, and more episodes are coming. Sorry about the hiatus there, but we'll talk about that at another time. No, but I am grateful and thankful today for that particular community of people, or those communities of people, because the response from all of you since the video I did last week about losing my marketing job has just been like overwhelmingly positive, I should say. to begin with, just like the outpouring of support and just messages saying, hang in there, and the general, propping up and support has been really cool. But then just everybody coming at me in DMs and emailing and calling to try to help in any way they could, whether it was to offer me a hookup or let me know about an opportunity they heard for another job, or to hire me. I was not expecting that. That was an immensely cool, unexpected thing that's happened in the past week, and it really went a long way to kind of clearing out my own bullshit. The last few weeks have been tough. I've had some bad days there where everything I was doing just kind of got thrown out of whack and out of perspective, and I just got very dark about a lot of stuff. And just the response from all of you in the past week has gone a long way to kind of clearing all that out and giving me a new perspective and decluttering and defragging all the bullshit in my head. And I can't thank you enough for that. I really can't. So from that has come some exciting new things. In particular, Colin Coyle, gentleman that is a fan of the Ditch Diggers podcast that I do, reached out to me on Twitter. He owns a small press publisher called Parvis Press, and I'm actually signed on with Parvis Press to do some part-time marketing work for them. Had not heard of them before, in all honesty, but I found out that they are doing some really exciting, really relevant, topical, cool book projects, and I'm going to be helping them spread the word about that in the coming months. And they're doing a lot of really cool things. They're a cool organization. They're a very professional organization, which is far too rare a thing in the small press genre. But Colin is an immensely competent guy with a very realistic yet broad vision for his company. I dig the way they do business. Again, he was good enough to reach out for me. Heard about me losing the job. Was just like, hey man, I run this publisher. We're doing these books. I'd love to have your perspective on marketing them and getting them out there. Would you like to come do some part-time work for us while you're figuring your next move out? And I was like, absolutely. So that was an immensely cool thing that happened for someone who doesn't know you, just knows your work and has heard you on a podcast to go, you're having a tough time. Let me lend you a hand up. It's just nice to know that's still a thing that happens in the world, because it's very easy to get bleak about the world as well these days. So that was cool. My very old friend Jason McDowell, fellow author, reached out to me as well. He's been freelancing for a marketing company that outsources blog posts and ebooks and promotional articles for a lot of technical businesses. He reached out, offered to throw me some freelance work. It's just been, like I said, very overwhelming and unexpected. And I just really want to thank everybody who watched that video last week or heard me talking on Twitter and offered any form of support. It made me realize that I do take too dim a view of community sometimes, and that in whatever form it takes, community is necessary to all of us, whether it's professionally or personally, or just in living a more fulfilled life. It has its place. So live and learn, grow, evolve. I'm all about that, and y'all helped me do that in last week. So again, thank you. So to follow up on last week, as I said, things are looking up. My attitude's better. I've got some temporary opportunities that are very helpful. Long term is still looking great. I'm busier. I feel busier now, honestly, than I was when I had the full-time job, in a way. It's weird. It's like when I had the job, I had to prioritize all of those deadlines, and all of those days were centered around that. I knew I had to do that, and then everything else came after it, and I had to schedule it thusly. So it imposed the structure on my day-to-day during the week. Now that I don't have the job, it's all about all the other stuff that I was just kind of fitting in before, and it's flooding in, and I don't have a structure for it. I don't have any reason to put it off. So it's just kind of, I'm dealing with all that at once, whether it's editing the first draft of Savage Legion for my editor at Saga Press, whether it's trying to finish this new middle grade book, whether it's trying to finish this pilot, whether it's working on the Ditch Diggers podcast. Again, we had an unexpected hiatus there between before the Hugo Awards and after the Hugo Awards, and losing this job and all this stuff was part of that. It's been a lot. I feel like there's a lot going on right now, and now I'm adding more freelance work and part-time work on top of that to bring in some of that interim money while I'm looking for the next thing. So it's a lot, but it's good, and I feel good about it. And it's good that I'm busy and I've got a lot going on. And I make jokes on Twitter about being unemployed and all that stuff. That's just to kind of keep it light for myself. But I'm the furthest thing from unemployed right now, and that's always been true. So just trying to keep up, really, man. Just trying to keep up with all of that. And of course, the weekly vlog here. This one is a little late, but again, I've had a lot going on lately. So thanks for sticking with me. Thank you for reaching out. And that's really all I've got this week for y'all. And I hope that's okay. I just wanted to give you the status update and say thank you. Those were the only two things we've got going on. Next week, we'll get back to some more informative stuff. We'll talk about some writing. We'll give away some more swag. We'll do all the cool stuff. We'll get out of the room a little bit. I know we've been in the room very much. My office is a disaster, by the way. I should show you that. Maybe I'll do that for the intro to this video. Anyway, but we'll get back to more vlogging excitement next week. But for now, again, everything's cool. It's looking up. My attitude's good. And I'm excited about the future. And I'm thankful for all of you. And that's what I wanted to say. So thank you very much. Until next week, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you know when I put out new videos, which I do every week. Hit the comments just to say hi, to ask me a question. Tell me something you want me to talk about. Tell me what you had for lunch this week that was really good. I'm always interested in hearing about it. And until next time, take care of yourselves. Take care of someone else. I'll see you next week. Same Matt time, same Matt channel.